Okay, so I was not gonna make a video, but I think I will because this burqa ban in the Netherlands just caught my attention and it was just too interesting to let go. Um, so yeah, you can see that I have my Amsterdam hat on. Not that it's a clear endorsement of their burqa ban, and I don't think I've been very clear with my views on banning the burqa, because in Canada, as you know, we have a ban on religious symbols in Quebec, and obviously, as it always does, it disproportionately affects Muslim women. Um, or at least that's what everybody talks about anyway. And it's kind of a fractured system. So in the rest of Canada, it's fine, but in Quebec, it's something that's up to the Quebec population, the Quebec electorate. And no federal leaders want to really intervene. A court case is coming up on November 26th, which is very soon, actually, in a couple days, where I think that ban in Quebec is going to be challenged on various grounds. To try to get around the notwithstanding clause, which is what Francois Legault used to enforce the ban. So the Netherlands just came up with something similar. I think it's very similar, except that the Netherlands went a little bit further, and it applies not just to government employees, but to anybody in a public space, police stations, hospitals, public transit, you name it. But they can continue to wear their burqas in or hijabs, and it doesn't apply to hijabs actually. So there's another different facet to the one in the Netherlands compared to the one in Quebec. They can wear their hijabs as long as your face is visible, etc., etc. But it's the burqa or the niqab that you can't wear in public spaces, and that it always goes along with things like ski masks, things that are not religiously mandated. Technically you can say it's not discriminatory, but according to one UN official, Muslim women in the Netherlands, even though the ban is kind of like iffy and it's not really enforceable, have reported being harassed for wearing the burqa. So what is my point with all of this? I think it matters to me what the rationale is behind wearing a burqa, especially a burqa, and it goes in degrees, right? Like it goes from any kind of religious symbol all the way to a woman basically erasing her identity from the public space, from the public square. Um, it feels like there's something very extreme going on there, especially considering that it is mandated in such a way that they always have to keep it on. Like it's not ceremonial, is what I'm trying to say. It's an everyday, minute by the minute rule that women have to wear this. And that's forgetting Muslim women who don't wear it, and it's fine. Like, they're not considered whorish or hookers or anything. They're just Muslim women that don't wear the burqa. And, I don't think Allah is going to judge any one of them any worse off than any other one. But I don't know, you never know. I mean, but it goes back to the rationale behind wearing this stuff. And on an individual basis, I can see, somebody wants to wear something, like whatever. I mean, that's fine. It's a free society. You're supposed to be able to. But we all live in societies with laws and with conventions. And, if I had to take off my hat when making these videos, as required by law, and forgetting the rationale or the reason, I would take it off. I just would. But I mean, we're talking about women who wear the burqa, who are now afraid to go outside. So they are now afraid to leave their houses because they can't wear the burqa. I mean, again, there is something extreme happening there. And I'd also like to throw in that, most of the women in the world, in the Middle East, who have to wear the burqa, wear it, by law they're required to wear it. So I mean, but forgetting that, there is still something personally extreme to wearing the burqa. And I'd also have to call out non-Muslim women who support the burqa, and who don't wear the burqa. Um, I think you don't have to look very far, not very far past your nose to figure out why you wouldn't wear that. Like, I mean, and the symbology behind it, which everyone seems to always ignore, is that it is an oppressive thing, and there's a global news article that I just read about, um, people talking about, the racist past of the Netherlands and things like that. And it's very important that we know history. It's very important that we know why things are contextualized the way they are and why things are the way they are because of history and things like that. But I mean, how much can you blame Dutch colonial history for women not covering their like not covering themselves up? Like I mean, Islam has a very weird past, right? The Ottoman Empire. This is something I should be reading up on. This is the empire I should know a lot about, and I will get there. I will get there eventually. But the Ottoman Empire is kind of like my thing. That's or should be my thing, right? So I'll get to it. But from what I know, the Ottoman Empire was kind of peaceful, but I mean, it was a conquering society. I mean, that's what Muhammad was. Like, he was a conqueror, and that's what Dawah is, as Ayat Hirsi Ali talks about, right? Like, it's a conquering religion. And while a lot of people lived in peace in the Ottoman Empire, they lived so under, basically the threat of basically having bad things happen to them based on the caliphate, or by, as would be thrown upon them by the caliphate if they disobeyed or they didn't pay their taxes or whatever. So Islam has that kind of history as well. So it's weird seeing somebody on global news, or actually I think a UN representative or somebody in the Netherlands. I think I should know that, but I forgot. I'll post the article on Spiralvent in case you want to read it. But talking about the racist history of the Netherlands. I mean, this just keeps coming up and up and up about this racism and this racism and this racism, and it's like it's a dead issue. It's maybe that's too extreme a word, like saying it's a dead issue, but it is just not something that permeates the everyday life of. I mean, I would be so bold as to say the average Dutch citizen. I mean, I'm not Dutch. I don't live in the Netherlands, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, in Canada, like I don't think people walk around being racist. I don't think that happens. I mean, it's few and far between. It's kind of a narrow base of whack jobs that tout these racist memes and they or these tropes, and they just get magnified because of social media or because of they're just loudmouthed, right? And what they say is actually very corrosive, and so it gets amplified basically. But I mean, the average person doesn't walk around in some sort of racist way. Like, they don't walk around hating. Well, I don't know if you'd call it faggots a race, but what we're calling. Anyway. So, as an example, so yeah, I think what it comes down to, let's go back to this video is going to be all over the place, but let's go back to the whole idea of women not wanting to leave their houses. Now, on top of that, they're saying that police are going to have a hard time because you can't wear a burqa inside a police station. So if you want to report a crime, maybe even a serious crime, you cannot enter the police station if you're wearing a burqa. But I mean, come on, give me a break. What? That is madness. That is just crazy madness. Not to mention that women, in Quebec, will never be able to, if you're wearing a burqa, if you wear a hijab, you could actually get a job with the government in the Netherlands. Or a police station or whatever. But a burqa, I don't. That's crazy. Anyway, this is all very multifaceted and interesting. I'm going to continue reading on this. That's all I really want to say for now. Bye.